At any given moment, you are one decision away from an entirely different life. Not 10 decisions, not 100 decisions. One. One decision to leave your job, one decision to start the business, one decision to end the relationship, one decision to move to a new city, one decision to go back to school, one decision to pick up the phone and call, one decision. And most men go through their entire lives without making that one decision. They see the crossroads, they feel the pull, they know deep down what they need to do, but they don't do it. And then they wake up at 50 and realize their life could have been completely different if they had just made one decision differently. In this episode, we are talking about the power of a single decision, how one choice can redirect the entire life, how the men who changed the world all made one decision that changed everything, and how you can recognize the moment when a life changing decision is coming and have the courage to make it. Let's go. Here's the truth: your life isn't the result of 1,000 small decisions, it's the result of a few big ones. The decision to go to college or not, the decision to start a business or get a job, the decision to marry this person or that person, the decision to move or stay, the decision to take the risk or play it safe. These few decisions shape your entire life. They determine where you live, who you are with, what you do, how much money you make, how happy you are. And most men don't make these decisions by default. They don't choose, they just let life happen to them. The parents say go to college, so you go to college. Your friends are getting jobs, so you get a job. A girlfriend wants to get married, so you get married. The boss says stay, so you stay. You're not making decisions. You're just following the path that's already been laid out for you. But here's what I want you to understand. At any given moment, you can choose a different path. You can make one decision that changes everything. The Apostle Peter was a fisherman. He had a stable life. He had a boat. He had a business. He had a family. And then one day, Jesus walked by and said, "Follow me." And Peter made a decision. He left everything. He left his boat, his business, his family. He made one decision and his entire life changed. That one decision led him to become one of the most influential men in history. That one decision led him to preach to thousands. That one decision led him to be martyred for his faith. That one decision changed the trajectory of his entire life. And it started with one choice. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 9 says, "In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." You can plan your life. You can have a 5-year plan, you can have a 10-year plan. But the truth is, one decision can change everything. One decision can redirect your entire path. And the question is, are you going to be the one to making the decision? Or are you going to let life make it for you? Here's what happens when you don't make the big decision. You live life of regret. You see the opportunity, you feel the pull. You know deep down what you need to do, but you don't do it. And then you keep living the same life, keep going to the same job, you keep being with the same person, keep living in the same city, you keep doing the same things. And every day, a little part of you dies. A little part of you wonders what could have been. Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verses 4 to 6 says, "Whoever watches the wind will not plant, whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. As you do not know the part of the wind, as you do not know the path of the wind, or how the body forms in a mother's wombs, so you cannot understand the work of God, maker of all things. Sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know what will be successful, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. In other words, stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for the wind to be exactly right. Stop waiting for the clouds to clear. Stop waiting for certainty, because certainty never comes. The men who changed the world all made their big decision without certainty. They didn't know if it would work. They didn't know if it would succeed. They just made their decision and moved forward. Steve Jobs didn't know if Apple would succeed when he started it in his garage. Elon Musk didn't know if Tesla would succeed when he invested everything into it. Nelson Mandela didn't know if the anti-apartheid movement would succeed if when he joined it. The Apostle Peter didn't know if following Jesus would lead to anything when he left his boat. They all made the decisions without certainty. And because they did, their lives changed. But the men who didn't make the decision, they lived their entire lives wondering what could have been. They lived their entire lives in the what if. And that's the cost you can't afford. So, how do you know when a life changing decision is coming? You feel it. You feel it in your gut. Feel it in your chest. You feel it in your bones. There's a restlessness. There's a dissatisfaction with where you are. There's a pull towards something else. There's a voice inside you saying, "This isn't it. This isn't your life. This isn't your path." And most men ignore that feeling. They rationalize it away. They tell themselves, "I'm just being ungrateful. I'm just being selfish. I'm just being unrealistic." But that feeling is real. That feeling is your intuition. That feeling is your voice telling you that something needs to change. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your path straight." Your intuition is connected to something deeper. It's connected to your purpose. It's connected to your truth. And when something doesn't align with your truth, you feel it. So the first step is to recognize that feeling. Don't ignore it. Don't rationalize it away. Acknowledge it. Say to yourself, "I'm feeling this pull. Something needs to change. A decision is coming." The second step is to ask yourself the hard questions. What am I feeling? What do I want? What am I afraid of? What would I do if I wasn't afraid? The third step is to get quiet and listen. Sit with that feeling. Meditate on it. Pray on it. Let the answer come to you. And the fourth step is to make the decision. Not tomorrow, not next year, today. Because every day you wait is another day you're not living your life. Here's the framework for making a life changing decision. Step one, acknowledge the crossroads. You're at a point where you can go left or right. You can stay or go. You can do this or that. Acknowledge that you are at a crossroad. Step two, get clear on your values. What do you actually believe? What do you actually want? Not what your parents want, not what your friends want, not what society wants. What do you want? Step three, evaluate the options. What are the real consequences of each option? What's the best case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? What's the most likely scenario? Step four, trust your gut. After you've done the analysis, trust your gut. What does your intuition say? Does it say yes or no? Step 5, make the decision and commit. Don't make the decision and then second guess yourself. Make the decision and commit to it fully, completely. Step 6, take action immediately. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for all the pieces to fall into place. Take action immediately. The first step is the hardest. Take it. And step 7, adjust as you go. You won't have all the answers. You learn as you go. Adjust your course as needed and don't abandon the decision. Joshua chapter 1, verses 8 and 9 says, keep this book of law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Be strong and courageous. Make the decision. Take the action. Trust that you'll figure it out as you go. Let me give you some real world examples of men who made the one decision that changed everything. Steve Jobs. He was working at Atari, making decent money, living a comfortable life, but he felt the pull. He knew something was missing, so he made a decision. He left Atari. He started Apple in his garage with his friend Steve Wozniak. That one decision led to the creation of the personal computer. It changed the world. Elon Musk. He was successful in finance. He had money, he had security, but he felt the pull towards something bigger. So he made a decision. He left finance. He started Zip2, then X.com, then PayPal, then Tesla, then SpaceX. That one decision led to the creation of electric vehicles and space exploration technology that changed the world. Nelson Mandela, he was a lawyer. He had a comfortable life. He had a family, but he felt the pull towards injustice. So he made a decision. He joined the anti apartheid movement. That one decision led to him spending 27 years in prison. Or it also led to the end of apartheid in South Africa and him becoming one of the most respected leaders in the world. The Apostle Peter, he was a fisherman. He had a stable business, he had a family, but he felt the pull when he met Jesus. So he made a decision. He left everything and followed Jesus. That one decision led him to become the rock upon which the church was built. That one decision led him to preach to thousands and change the course of history. Every single one of these men made decisions that changed everything. And the decision wasn't easy. It was just one decision. It was a scary decision. That decision required them to leave behind security, comfort, and certainty. But they made a decision anyway. And because they did, their lives changed and the world changed. Here's the thing, you don't know when your appointed time is coming. You don't know when the crossroads are going to appear. You don't know when the opportunity is going to knock. You don't know when the pull is going to come. But it's coming. For some of you, it's coming this year. For some of you, it's coming this month. Some of you, it's coming this week. And when it comes, you're going to have uh, you're going to have a choice. You're going to have to decide, am I going to make this big decision or am I going to stay where I am? Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 says, there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. There's a time for you to make the big decision. There's a time for you to take the leap. And when that time comes, you need to be ready. Because if you miss it, you might not get another chance. You spend the rest of your life wondering what could have been. So here's what I want you to do. Get ready. Prepare yourself mentally, prepare yourself spiritually, prepare yourself practically, because when the moment comes, you need to be ready to make the decision. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for certainty. Don't wait for permission. When the moment comes, make the decision, take the leap, change your life. At any given moment, you are one decision away from an entirely different life. Not 10 decisions, not 100 decisions, one. One decision can change everything. One decision can redirect your path. One decision can make you unrecognizable. The question is, are you going to make that decision? Or are you going to let life make it for you? The men who changed the world all made one decision that changed everything. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Nelson Mandela, Peter. They all made the big decision. And now it's your turn. Your appointed time is coming. Your crossroads is approaching. Your moment is near. When it comes, be brave, be courageous, make the decision, take the leap, change your life because you're one decision away from an entirely different life. And that decision is yours to make. That's it for the episode. Thanks for listening. If this resonated with you, send this to someone who needs to hear it. This is built, not felt by the Rice Code. I'll see you all in the next one.